All right, so tonight we're going to learn about a new platform called Sophia. Let me bring up my slideshow. And I'm just going to go into the basics with you on Sophia Learning. In fact, there are so many recorded screencasts and tutorials for how to use the features of it that you almost don't need me here at all. But of course, you start out creating an account, go to sophia.org, fill in the usual information, double check your password, and you are in. There are a lot of features for teachers. They really are working in great partnership with educators. As I said, there were many tutorials. I'd love to introduce you to Carolyn Fruin. She's the one doing all of those great tutorials, telling you how to make your groups, your playlists, create tutorials, build quizzes, and she'll even direct you to the professional development that's available on Sophia. Groups in Sophia are like groups in Edmodo. They basically are your classrooms. You invite the right number of students for each class to the groups that go with them. By sharing the code, you can bring them in and then select close to new members. Therefore, you've locked the group. So this is great for younger students. The curriculum that is loaded in Sophia is primarily geared toward middle school and high school students. But if you still wanted to use the platform to build your tutorials and content and to load videos from outside and bring them in, you could do that. If you need a locked group, though, be careful about publishing, because every tutorial, unless that you do, you publish. And when you are publishing them, you select whether you want that to go to just your group or if you want to make it public. So if you're interested in that secure online environment, be sure that you publish it just to your group. Okay, there are playlists available to you in Sophia that will teach curriculum in whole or in part. You can select whole pathways that are based on the Common Core or New Generation Science Standards, and they are complete with quizzes which generate information for you on how your students are doing. You can also go to some searchable lists and just by topic or by a single objective or standard launch a video into your tutorial and change it for yourself. But really, at Sophia, they leave it up to you. When you go on these pathways, you'll see that if they have videos in what you searched, there's a blue leaf much like this and a number on it letting you know how many of them there are to select from. Tutorials are your basic groundwork that you do. When you create a tutorial, you get to a page that's rather like this. It gives you a box here that you can text, insert videos. You can even write from Sophia, do a screencast. They have embedded into their website Screencast-O-Matic, which is the same program I am doing to give you this lesson. And they have it so that you can record straight into Sophia and have it load just from there instead of having to save it to YouTube. Therefore, your students can remain in this online environment without having to go to other sites to get your video. The other thing that you can put here, you can insert a question, or a student can insert a question, and it can begin a whole discussion thread. But again, make sure that you get those tutorials published just to your group if you want those discussion threads to be private to your group only. Having said all of that, let's get just a glimpse at the site itself. See, I told you I was recording on Screencast-O-Matic. Come on, Sophia. Okay, when you go there and you have created your password, you can also embellish your profile just a little bit, put a picture there, then your students will recognize it. There's a summary that shows basically your activity, and your students will each have, sorry about the date there, your students will each have summaries that show the kind of quiz points and badges that they've earned, how many tutorials they've viewed, and you get the opportunity as an educator to rate their tutorials. Groups would be the classes that you've created. As you can see, I've only created one. And if I were getting asked to join a group to collaborate with another teacher, they would share the code with me and I would enter it here and join a group. This is the tab for the pathways that we discussed. There's your Common Core standards, and here are your new generation science standards. And if you go searching in those, as you can see, I already did look for some Common Core standards. If you go searching in those little blue leaves will come up and show you where the videos are available with that. If I had created a playlist, it would be here. I've created one. I continued on with my 7th grade class and found a few tutorials on the human body, our heart. Remember, my last one was on the lung. I had a lot of fun playing with that, and I was able to load my standards. One thing that's really exciting to look at in here is that Sophia is not just about you as the teacher teaching the students that you have underneath you, but it's ready to help you develop too. And I don't know which little rabbit trail in here, there's so many ways to search it. But they have a professional development list. Right here. You can go in as a teacher and become certified in flipped classroom skills, Chrome classroom skills, virtual classroom certification, and even for you people with younger students, those iPad prepared classrooms. They have a series of tutorials that they can go through with you there, and when you've done those, they will certify you in those skills. So it's really good for your professional development. You want to have that on your resume when you are wanting to display what kind of 21st century skills you offer your students. And that's about it, I would say. Otherwise, go to the tutorials that are already available on the site, and you'll be creating content quicker than we can say boo.